it's far less intimidating to start with volume 1 and go from there than you have to.
But yeah, I mean, this is just a problem of, like, the way that these two industries work, right? Where, like, manga is almost always just complete stories. There are certain IPs that have been resurrected over and over again, but almost never is it continually the way, like, Batman or Spider-Man are, like, always around. You know, like, sometimes multiple incarnations are going on at the same time, and they just keep soft rebooting every, you know, couple of years. Really, in my mind, every like time the author changes is kind of like a bit of a soft reboot because they usually treat it a little bit differently. Yeah, with comics, it's that the IPs are not individual stories. They are collections of stories about these characters. If in manga, like the biggest manga that were carrying everything were like Lupin the Third, and even Lupin is like mostly reinvented as an anime, not so much as a manga, but like, you know, if like the biggest stories were like these characters that have been taken over by different authors, if Go Nagai was still the center of the manga economy, it would be like DC or Marvel. Okay, you have to make a new Devilman every fucking week because Devilman's the only comic anybody's buying. So it doesn't matter who's writing it, it has to be there. Devilman does continue to exist in that form. Like, it does keep getting rewritten every few years, new artists, new writers, whatever. Go Nagai is still making that money off of it. It is by no means the central pillar of the manga economy. I assume he's going to touch on this as well, but like, manga just is bigger in Japan, so there's just more of it, so there is just more opportunity for it to reach people, and the only way that comics made outside Japan are going to get to that level is by doing that too, and I think they are. It's just that when we talk about American comics, we talk about DC and Marvel, we don't talk about webcomics. Something like Homestuck was bigger than most of what exists in the comic world, but it doesn't come up in comic book conversations because the comic book world has become this weird little like sphere, you know, of just people who care about these few central pillar works, and manga is more sprawling. It's also why it's harder to be like a manga YouTuber, because you can't guarantee that your audience is all going to have read the same shit you've read the way you can with comics.
A little research, know where that they're jumping on point for you to read a comic book character. Most people don't want to have to do research to jump into a narrative. Marvel Studios and Star Wars are having a similar problem themselves. For example, if you watch, say, Star Wars The Acolyte, you have to have some background knowledge of the prequels. And why would you watch Acolyte? What order do you watch The Acolyte in? What order do you watch the Clone Wars cartoon versus the Clone Wars animated movie versus the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon from back in the mid-2000s,
By the way,
if you watch that one at all?
The answer is always release order. Release order is